my cupcakes, and welcome back to my channel. It's currently raining outside and it's starting to get really cold here in Northern Virginia. So I thought, why not do a foundation review, because that totally relates, right? Anyways, as you can see in the title down below, today we are reviewing this Magic Foundation by Charlotte Tilbury. I actually have it in two shades right here. I have one in, where are the colors? I have it in the color 3.5 Fair and 4.5 Medium. So I was actually sent this from Charlotte Tilbury as a PR package, but I have heard of this foundation before because, as you can see, it claims to be full coverage, and honestly, I don't know why I never got around reviewing this foundation, because I usually love reviewing all sorts of full coverage foundations because that's just what I like. So this foundation claims to be a miracle in a bottle that transforms skin for all ages, skin tones, and skin types. Charlotte has worked with laboratories for 5 years to create this hyper-intelligent formula that gives full coverage but feels completely weightless with all the anti-aging and protective benefits of a luxury skin cream. So I'm actually looking at the Nordstrom website for all the information, and it looks like they're carrying 15 different shades, but it seems like to me there are only like just a few deeper shades, so not the greatest shade ranges, but there is some shades available out there for you. I'm not sure if they came out with new shades yet, but that's just what I see in the Nordstrom website. As I mentioned, I have it in the shade 3.5 Fair and 4.5 Medium, so I'm gonna see which one works out the best. This is how the packaging looks like. On the back, it does have some description, like it's a full coverage demi-matte long-lasting foundation enriched with hyaluronic acid, mushroom extract, and the concentrated power of vitamin C. I feel like it's really trying to claim that this can be like a skincare benefiting foundation. Alright, so let's open this baby up. I've actually never even seen how it looks like. Oh, cute. Oh, there's also another plastic packaging, which I guess could be a good thing because it makes me feel like it's been really securely packaged. But I hate opening these plastic wrap. Oh my gosh. So this is how the 3.5 Fair looks like, and this is how the 4.5 Medium looks like. Not too much difference, but I can definitely tell that this is a little bit darker. I might actually be right in the middle of these two shades, but let's talk about the packaging really quick. It has a really cute rose gold packaging, but it is plastic, so nothing too fancy there except the color coding. And just like your typical high-end foundations, it's in a glass bottle, and just like the other usual typical foundations, it has 30 milliliter or 1 fluid ounce. If you open it up, it has the pump right here, which I actually like. I feel like the pump should be like somewhat of a rose gold packaging too, if you were to ask me, because it totally doesn't relate to the rest of the packaging. Like, this kind of makes it look a lot cheaper. Alright, so now that all of the details are out there, let's get on with the application. I brought you guys in a little closer so you guys can see how the application goes on. Like always, I'll be applying one side of my face with the Morphe E6 brush, which is one of my absolute favorite brushes to apply foundation with. And the other side, we're actually going to use a sponge, but this time I'm using the Morphe beauty sponge, I guess. I don't know what you would call this. By the way, I've already damped this beauty sponge. It was a lot smaller, so this is how big the sponge will get if you were interested. All of the products that I used or will be using will be linked down below. Okay, so I'm going to start with the 3.5 Fair to see how this one matches. If this one is too light, then I'm going to mix it in with the 4.5 Medium. So that seems like a pretty good color right off the bat. It's also a lot thicker than I expected, which makes me feel like this could possibly be a full coverage foundation. Let's start with this side. No like specific reasons, just because. Alright, here we go. This was one full pump. Let's see if it's enough to cover your entire face. I'm gonna go ahead and use the brush first. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot to use primer. I'm probably gonna have to take this off anyway, so let me do that and I'll be right back. So that was kind of a fail on my part because I totally forgot to apply primer and even tell you guys if I'm wearing primer or not. So either way, it worked out for the best because the color was a little too light for me. Alright, so for primer, I've been really enjoying the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer, which is a primer and moisturizer in one. I've been really enjoying this lately because obviously the weather is getting a lot colder, which means my skin will suffer and feel like cracked skin all over. So I like to hydrate my skin. So I'm just gonna apply that all over my face. This almost feels like you're putting on like a serum, and I really like the way this sits on your face because your skin just like soaks it up, and I feel like it is really creating like a barrier almost. Okay, so let's go back and apply the foundation again. I'm actually going to mix both of these. There's one pump right there for the 3.5 fair, one pump of the 4.5 medium. Alright, let's start again on this side of my face. Just apply some, again using the brush. I mean, that went on really well. It feels pretty good on my skin. There is a slight difference because I'm a lot more golden, and this seems to be giving me more of like a neutral tone. Coverage wise, I'd say it's about like a solid medium coverage. It doesn't seem to be covering like all of my scars, like, or this little spot right here. So I wouldn't necessarily call it full coverage, especially because my expectation for full coverage is up there. Alright, let's try applying the other side with my sponge. I'm gonna do the same thing and just dab the foundation all over. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna start by applying it with the ball part of the sponge. Alright, so as you guys can see, I see very clear difference that the brush side definitely gave much better coverage. I almost feel like this just didn't really do anything. I'd call this like sheer, maybe light coverage, but pretty much sheer coverage with the sponge. And I don't feel as hydrated and moisturized as this side. Like this side feels a lot more plump to me compared to this side. It just feels like I have nothing on, which could be a good thing, but it's not because it doesn't even look like I have anything on. So I'm gonna go back to the brush and apply just like one more layer on this side so that I can look even. That looks so much better. I definitely prefer using brush with this foundation. It applies a lot better. Again, the coverage, I would probably call it a solid medium. It is buildable, so I would say you can build it up to a potential full coverage foundation. The foundation feels really lightweight, and I don't know, I just really love how it's making my skin feel really healthy, you know? I can definitely see why this is saying it's like skincare in your foundation because I can feel it. I don't see it creasing anywhere. It feels like it's laying really nice and softly on my skin, and I really like it. I think I am definitely going to set it though, just really lightly all over so that I don't have to worry about like transferring anywhere, and I usually do that on a regular day basis anyway. It is currently 12:47. I'm gonna call it 12:45 because that's pretty much where when I finished it. And then finish the rest of my makeup, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. It is 1:09. Let's just call it 1:10. Real quickly, what's on the rest of my face? I applied my under eye concealer, which is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in Light Sand. I always use this. To set the rest of my face, I literally set like really lightly using this brush. This is the Morphe E52 brush. I always use that brush to gently set my face, and today I used the Too Faced Pressed, hold on, this is always confusing, Primed and Poreless Skin Smoothing Pressed Powder. I've mentioned this in my October favorites video if you guys haven't watched that. go ahead and check that out because I've been really loving this powder. For bronzer, I'm wearing the Becca Cosmetics Sunlit Bronzer in Capri Coast. And then to contour, I use the Kevin Aquan Contour Book Volume 2. This is the Art of Sculpting and Defining book. You can actually open it up and that's how it looks like. There's a mirror. I actually use this to contour my nose and like the cheekbones on the sides. And then I use the Candlelight powder as my highlight. As you guys can see, I've been really enjoying this. And for my eyes, since I have some leftover lash extensions, I've been really enjoying the no liner look. So I just use these two shadows right here, which I've been pretty much doing like every single day. And on my lips is the new Morphe liquid lipstick in Lovely. This is slightly smaller than their original size. I think this is part of their holiday collection. The foundation still feels good. Again, it doesn't feel heavy like at all. I don't have too much planned today. Probably just gonna go out and have lunch with my friend. I feel like I go out to eat lunch every single time I film foundation reviews. Since it is raining, I think I want some like soup since it's like cold and raining. So we'll see how this foundation holds up with like hot soup. Alright, so I'm gonna go about my day. I will check back with you guys during the midday. Hey guys, so I'm here for my midday check-in. It is currently 5:15, so it's been exactly like 4 hours since I first applied this foundation. So let's go ahead and take a closer look. So today it was pretty much rainy and very gloomy all day. We had pho for lunch today, so I did sweat a little around my nose. I think that's the reason why I have like a little bit of creasing around my nose, just like on the sides over here, which is pretty normal for me. But overall, like the foundation looks really, really good. Like I mentioned from the initial application, this foundation makes me feel and look like I have healthy skin. Like it may not give me like the perfect, smooth, flawless skin, but I think I would prefer my skin to look a lot like healthier instead of looking flawless with heavy amount of foundation in general. So I really like how it looks. It just, my skin looks and feels very plump, so I'm really liking it. I'm gonna try and wear this for at least like 4 more hours, so we'll see, and I will check back with you guys at the end of the day. Alright guys, I'm back from my final checkup. It is currently 11:12. I've literally wore this for pretty much exactly 10 hours. I wasn't planning on wearing this foundation for the full 10 hours. I was planning on wearing it for maybe like 6 to 8 hours. But I did see on the packaging that it says flawless, long-lasting coverage. So I wanted to just test it out to see how well it performs for the full 10-hour mark. Alright, so let's just jump right in and take a closer look. So right off the bat, like my overall look, I still think it looks great. There is like a bit of oil peeking through just like around these areas. Mind you, I rarely ever touch up my makeup throughout the entire day. I pretty much like never really touch up my makeup, and I didn't touch up my makeup today at all either, so this is all just really normal to me, and I actually don't even mind this. One thing that I am noticing quite a bit is just around this area, because on the sides of my nose it has kind of started to like cake up a little bit just around the rims here, and then this area it pretty much kind of rubbed off a little bit. But usually around the 10-hour mark, this does tend to happen for most of the foundations. I'm also seeing a little bit of like very slight separation just right here on the chin area. It's not too bad. It's not something that I noticed it like right away. I like have to literally take a closer look to see that. I actually think it did oxidize a little bit. It's actually looking like it's an exact match now compared to the before, so I'm actually kind of glad. My forehead looks really nice and smooth. My cheeks, it still looks really great. It's just like this area that's usually my problematic area, and I'm not even like mad at it. Like I don't even mind it. I don't think I absolutely love this foundation just yet. I think I would definitely have to try this foundation out a couple more times, maybe play with different primers and all that other good stuff. But I am appreciating the overall look by the 10-hour mark, so I will definitely approve this foundation. I do like it. I think it just mostly has to do with how I felt throughout the entire day. It's just my skin felt so healthy and plump that it just really felt nice. I love foundations when it doesn't even feel like foundations, especially because I love the full coverage, and most of the full coverage foundations tend to make you feel like you are wearing something. But this foundation just made me feel like I was wearing, like, I don't know, like serum or something. So I do feel like this foundation can be worn with all skin types. I would just say if you have oily skin, then you should definitely use a really good mattifying primer, or you should definitely set it on top. You may even need to touch it up throughout the day depending on how oily you get. This is definitely a plus for my dry skin people. I think this would work really great for you because it did make my skin feel like, again, it was like skincare, so it made me feel plump, which means like my skin was well hydrated. Other than that, if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, don't forget to hit that bell button so that you'll be notified every single time I upload a new video. Other than that, don't forget to follow me on all of my other social media handles, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!